for your cast of the Why So Serious show on BlazeRadioOnline.com.
It is Wednesday, and it is time for the Why So Serious show. I'm Jesse Mortensen. That's Matt Kling and Max Bechtold. And Friday, we've got Big Ten football. Max, how excited are you?
I can't even describe it, honestly. Big Ten football is my favorite thing probably on earth. And so after like a year of it being gone, almost 10 full months of being gone, finally we get back.
So I want you to do kind of a preview. I want who you think is going to represent the conference championship game, who's going to win it. But, I also want your top matchups that, will produce 10-7 this year.
Okay, top matchups that I'll produce top 7 I'll start with. First of all, we got to go with the classic, the traditional 10-7 game, which is the Heartland Trophy battle, which is Wisconsin versus Iowa. Even the trophy name, the Heartland Trophy, just screams 10-7. And so that game is always just the worst of anything you can possibly imagine in football, and is so much fun. So that is my first matchup that is going to be 10-7. Also, I think this year we really have some high possibilities for some in the East, which is much rare. East is more of the scoring division. I think Michigan State is going to be like 13-6 or something, like just awful, awful, awful football in the best way. I think that, a game like whoever – I don't know who Rutgers plays from the West, but I think Rutgers versus whoever they play from the West has the potential to be really low scoring. Even if it's a good team they play from the West, I still think like that game just screams like something that'll be like 16-9 or something.
What about that Maryland Rutgers? Isn't that a 14-7 clunker?
Maryland can score. Maryland is like the one bad team in the Big Ten that actually scores. So I think that they'll put up some points, I think, over Rutgers. I think that game is like 28-10 is like speaking to me in that game.
Isn't there a game weekend that Rutgers is involved in? I think it's Rutgers-Michigan State this weekend. That's going to be really terrible.
Oh, that's going to be 14-7 because Michigan State's not going to be good this year.
Who's their coach?
Mel Tucker, former
Colorado
coach.
Yeah, he was supposed to resurrect the Colorado program, and nothing happened.
I think it was a good hire. It's just that team doesn't have much offensive talent at all, and hasn't for like 5 years. So
no.
Maryland Northwestern, that's a clunker this weekend.
Any game with Northwestern has high low scoring ability.
They could be good though, right? Like usually there's a chance. They could like
Northwestern. Look up Northwestern's records by season. Every other season for like the last 10 years, they've either been like 8-4 or 4-8. And so, who knows? They went like 3-9 last year. I think they were the worst team in the Big Ten other than Rutgers. And so this year they'll probably be good. So
I put on the poll: is 10-7 ever quote exciting? Because you said it's going to be exciting.
Oh, it's going to be so much fun.
So
I can't wait.
So because we're a homer show on this show, Friday's matchup, Wisconsin-Illinois, not too many points I'm expecting out of that one. And
I don't know. Wisconsin, I think, is going to really open up the playbook now with Graham Mertz. I think they're going to. I think they're going to let it fly. I think they have to because the running game is going to be terrible this year.
That I don't believe it. I just don't believe it. They're gonna find a running back that's gonna rush for 1,000 yards.
I don't think so.
Pull one out of their fanny.
This is the worst running back year since the current starting fullback for the Raiders. Actually, he was the starting running back for Wisconsin for like 7 games because Corey Clement got hurt, and so
champion Corey Clement. You better put respect on that name.
That is
still
true.
Has more. The Washington football team.
Shut up. But I am looking at the schedule. I think the best matchup this weekend is Michigan-Minnesota.
Oh, 100%.
Saturday night football. That's the first good Saturday night football matchup this year. it's a mediocre matchup, but it's the first Jim Harbaugh loss of the season.
So does anybody here know, other than myself, obviously, the trophy for Minnesota, Michigan?
I've heard there's a trophy, but I forget the name.
It's one of my favorite trophies.
Because Max has told me about this, and it's just
it's
ridiculous.
not Paul Bunyan's axe, is it?
Nope, that's Wisconsin, Minnesota.
Okay.
This one is the little brown jug, and it is literally just a water jug that they play for. And it has each of their logos on one side of it. It's Big Ten trophies. Like I said, that's the thing about the Pac-12 is like each team has like one trophy game. Like we'll say the Big Ten, like every team has like 5 trophy games. Like half of their schedules are trophy games. Wisconsin has 4 trophy games. Like all these teams have so many trophies.
They're all rivals with each other. Like it's ridiculous.
Minnesota Penn State has a trophy.
DJ Flack. Better coach than Jim Harbaugh.
Lot of captains on Minnesota, let me tell you.
Yes, they have like 30 captains. Illinois, Ohio State has a trophy. Like some of these trophies are just so stupid and so great.
So Max, when Minnesota walks out to do the coin toss, do they all just circle around?
It's a good point because, like I said, when you guys are watching this game on Saturday Night Football, watch how many players have the captain's patch on their jerseys. It is almost the entire team.
That is
all right, Max. All right. So what are your picks and for the conference championship game and who's winning the conference? I feel like it's pretty easy.
Anyone picking anyone but Ohio State is kind of stupid at this point. I think you could honestly make an argument that Ohio State is literally the best in the conference at every single positional group.
They're the second best team in the country.
Yeah, yes, I agree. I think they're the only team with a reasonable chance to beat Clemson.
Yeah, I think it's ridiculous that we're playing as much college football as we are this year because you could literally just like come together and just make like a tournament between those like 5 or 6 teams.
Clemson could shut down their season right now and still win the national championship.
Yeah.
If they don't play another game this year, I still think that they deserve. Like
look at what they did to Georgia Tech on Saturday. They ran them out of the state of Georgia. They ran them out of the South.
Here's the crazy thing. I kept on messaging Jesse this. I don't even think they played that well, and they still beat them by like 60.
It was 73-7.
Yeah.
They beat them by 66 points.
Yeah, I don't really think they played that well. Like, and they still beat them by 60. Like, I was watching this, and at half it was like 42-7. I'm like, this is the sloppiest 42-7 game I've ever watched. They had like 3 turnovers in the first half.
Yeah,
like Lawrence had great stats, but
they just kept hitting home runs.
Yeah.
In that game.
The Jets-Clemson game would be 31-17 Jets.
Yeah, I agree. But here's the thing. I actually think Clemson is the better team than Ohio State, but I also think they're more vulnerable because I think Clemson plays enough teams that have a quarterback to beat them. You know what I mean? Like, I think they have play enough teams. Something like Howell could just throw for 400 yards and 5 touchdowns and just have an insane game. Like, nobody on Ohio State's schedule is doing that. Like, nobody on Ohio State's schedule is going to come even within 20 points of them until maybe Wisconsin in the Big Ten.
I know this is a homer take, but the Virginia Tech Hokies have a legitimate shot to beat Clemson.
I could see something like that happening. I can't see it with Ohio State. Ohio State is not even going to be challenged once. Probably their only chance to be challenged is next week versus Penn State. And Penn State has to play an absolutely perfect game to come even close to them.
Penn State's also had like the worst COVID situations of any team. And like Penn State was why the Big Ten was shut down originally, I feel like.
They have had some issues. I mean, and Penn State is all about quarterback this year. I mean, if Sean Clifford plays consistently, they're going to be a good team.
We're always talking about a Penn State quarterback that ends up not being.
Mace McSorley, who is a third stringer on the Ravens.
So
and Clifford's the same thing as McSorley. It's okay. He can throw for 400 yards and 6 touchdowns any given week, or he could be awful and throw 33 for 100 yards and 3 interceptions. I mean, it's just the thing.
Who's the running back? Who's the next Saquon Barkley? Who's the next?
I'm not too worried about it. They always have somebody back there at running back. They always have good athletes overall on the skill positions. Like I'm never too worried about that.
The Big Ten coming back with no fans, or are there going to be fans at any place?
No, they are not allowed to have any fans.
Yeah.
I believe families of players and bands, I believe, are the only things allowed.
Thank God they're allowing bands, okay? Because Pac-12 is doing no bands and no cheerleaders. No cheerleaders? Like
bands.
Like what? Like no cheerleaders? Like what? Like what are the cheerleaders? Like they can stand in the stands like 12 feet apart from each other if they have to at each entrance. Like even the band makes a little bit of sense, barring that, because they're blowing into horns. But like we've seen these bands, they're pretty well, socially distanced.
It will be interesting to see the Big Ten, because I feel like more than any conference other than the SEC, but the SEC is allowing fans at every single stadium.
Yeah,
I think. Other than the SEC, like the Big Ten is kind of the one conference where like every team is usually used to playing in front of a at least mostly full stadium. Like almost every other conference, there's a few duds where it's like, okay, they're usually not used to playing in front of people and stuff. Like the Big Ten is the one conference where they consistently fill 14 of their stadiums. And so I think that'll be interesting.
Not Rutgers.
Don't look at Rutgers. Rutgers
fan,
draws a really, really solid crowd, actually.
Especially in basketball. But it'll be sad. So we got no Nebraska. They're an awesome fan base.
Amazing fan base.
An awesome fan base.
No Wisconsin with fans. No Ohio State with fans.
Penn State,
Michigan State, also good.
Minnesota was great last year with their fans. They had great atmosphere there.
I think Iowa with the that's like Iowa's got a great fan section. I don't like there's
even Purdue has a really nice one. I
remember their upset of Ohio State a few years ago.
Maryland is probably the one that doesn't show out.
I would say Northwestern as well, because if you ever watch I've been to a couple Northwestern games. If you ever see their crowd, like go look at their pictures of their crowd from games versus like Ohio State, Nebraska, Wisconsin. Yeah, it's like 3/4 red.
Yeah, but if they're good, like they're still gonna get a pretty good.
It's a good atmosphere. It's a good atmosphere there.
So
I actually really like Northwestern Stadium.
It's a unique place because it's like an old classic stadium in the middle of Chicago. So
yeah,
it's cool.
I really like their experience there. I think Northwestern's a great place to see a football game.
Before we move on, who's the runner-up in the Big Ten?
I know that this obviously sounds biased, but it's hard to not say it's going to be Wisconsin. They've made the Big Ten championship 6 out of, I think it's like 9 years that it's been around. Their only really competition, I think, is Iowa. I'm thinking Minnesota takes a step back this year overall. I think they beat Michigan week 1, Minnesota does, but I think they lose to Iowa and Wisconsin again. Both of them. I think Iowa is the most interesting, even though they've had probably the most tumultuous, however I said that. I don't know. I messed that up. But they've had the most tumultuous offseason with a lot of allegations against Kirk Ferentz, a lot of controversy with players, speaking up about their experiences there. I still think that team's going to rally together and grind out a lot of wins. So I think Iowa, Wisconsin, I think that game will probably determine who's playing Ohio State and Indianapolis. But remember about this season is the Big Ten is doing something different this year, where every single team is playing on championship weekend. The number one,
Pac-12's doing that too.
Yeah, the number one
is it a 7-game regular season with the 8th game? Pac-12's doing
this is 8 with a 9th. I believe.
Oh, okay, because Pac-12's doing 6 with a 7th.
Yeah. The number 1 team is playing the number 1 team. 2 is playing 2. 3 is playing 3. I want that to happen every single year. I think that'd be great. I think that's a great change to have. But
So
it's kind of like a conference bowl game, essentially.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah,
I think it'll be Ohio State, Wisconsin. I think it'll be Iowa versus Penn State, Michigan versus Minnesota. Like, I think there's some really, really fun matchups that are going to happen that week.
Yeah, that weekend's going to be fun. Before we move on to the Mountain West Conference, because I know that Max is super excited and pumped.
Oh yeah.
They're rushing back way too soon. By the way, they started camp the same time as the Pac-12, and they're playing 2 weeks before. So everyone's. I apologize in advance to all the people crying about the, about the injuries this weekend. The conference did it to themselves. So when everybody gets hurt this weekend, then and people want to,
there's one team in the Mountain West that's good, and that's Boise State. And
That's not true at all, Matt Kling. That is not true.
tell me UNLV football is good because they're trash.
You've got these Spartans.
That's right, San Jose State.
I wanna go somewhere else though before we go to Mountain West.
This is a James Jones shirt, by the way.
Which James Jones?
Yeah, which James Jones?
The one that used to play for the Packers.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and the Raiders great.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Raiders great. James Jones. But I wanted to go to down this road first. Notre Dame fans this past weekend were incredible. Yes,
they're so overrated.
My goodness. They beat Louisville, one of the worst teams in the ACC. That defense is terrible. They beat them 12-7. And now and they're all coming out and they're like, "Oh no, we're a defensive team, blah blah blah." No, you know what I've heard on ESPN and everything? Ian Book, Heisman candidate. Ian Book, one of the best quarterbacks in the country. No, he's not. He almost lost to Louisville. They won 12-7. This team's trash.
They are barely a top 10 team, and the only reason they are is because there are so few good teams in college football this year. They are like by default one of the 10 best teams in college football. They are nowhere near top 5.
I kind of want them to make the playoff again.
They're just gonna get just slaughtered.
I love it.
Let's play Clemson before any sort of.
It's going to be amazing. They're going to lose 56-7.
Yeah,
it's going to be great, and it's going to be at Notre Dame too. I'm pretty sure. So it's going to be like an annihilation on NBC.
Yeah, I just don't. Their fans are so like. Lou Holtz has been gone for like 25 years. Do they realize that?
I still think Brian Kelly's a good coach too.
What?
I just think
Brian Kelly is a good coach.
Brian Kelly's a good coach. It's just Notre Dame isn't Notre Dame anymore.
Brian Kelly would be more successful at another program.
Brian Kelly's a top 15 coach in college football. You can't convince me otherwise. Borderline top 10.
He's made some really bad decisions, and I will say that the talent level has gone up at Notre Dame a little bit since Charlie Weiss era.
Yeah, think of Notre Dame 15 years ago. They were kind of like Nebraska is now. At least Notre Dame's competitive as is. I mean,
yeah, but I don't know. I just think that
has been there 10 years now.
He's been there for a while. Yeah, I think 10 years because didn't he?
A fake girlfriend team in the national championship and got steamrolled by Bama.
I think he's been there for longer than that because I believe because he came from Cincinnati, right?
Yep, they played Virginia Tech in the Orange Bowl.
I believe his last game at Cincinnati though was when they got stomped by Florida, right?
I don't know. He might have not coached the bowl game.
I could be very wrong on that, but I believe that was his last season. I believe that was when Tebow was still there.
Yeah, Brian Kelly. I'm looking now. He started 2010. So
yeah. But the Notre Dame fans, you're a men's and women's basketball school. They're the third best program in the school.
Are they a men's basketball school?
No, they're really a women's basketball school. But they're really just not very good. So,
yeah, they lost 51-24 to Florida in his last season in the bowl game. Tebow went 31 for 35 for 482 yards and 3 touchdowns.
What?
He was insane. He was so good. Wasn't that his walk-off game?
I believe.
Yeah, that was his last game in college football.
It was the Sugar Bowl.
Insane. He's so good. He's so good. Or he was so good. He's just a baseball player now and a decent analyst. He's gotten a lot better at his analyst gig. He goes off on Alabama fans. That was a good one. But all right, enough on the Notre Dame fan talk. They're living in the past, of course. Max, Mountain West preview.
Well, I know about two teams,
Okay.
and that is Boise State, who is probably definitely the best team in the Mountain West.
Okay.
Probably not going to lose a game.
Okay. National
so-
champion.
Yes, there's them. And then I know San Jose State is very much improving as the years are going. They are one of the worst teams in all of FBS college football like 3 years ago. I think you could probably make a strong argument they were the worst team in FBS probably 3 years ago, and now they're kind of respectable. They beat Arkansas last year, which I know it's Arkansas, but they still beat an SEC team last year.
Their level of talent is way higher.
And they played really competitive last year. I mean, I went to a game where they played San Diego State last year, and they hung with San Diego State, who's probably consistently the number 2 team in the Mountain West. And so they got a game versus Air Force on Friday. I think that'll be an interesting match. Or on Saturday.
Hasn't Air Force played a game already?
Yeah, they played Navy. They played one of the other the military schools.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, they play Air Force on Saturday. I think that'll be an interesting matchup because Air Force is usually a good team. They've made a few bowl games recently, and so and they've got that triple option and stuff, and so I think it'll be an interesting test.
Max, I got a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Which religious school's football team should I fall in love with this year? BYU or Liberty?
BYU.
But Liberty beat Syracuse.
BYU. No, don't. If you ever have to ask between one school and Liberty, go with the other.
True. But BYU has played nobody.
BYU is good.
Yeah, but have you looked at who they played?
I don't care. They're beating the teams that they're playing like 50-10.
They play Notre Dame. Battle of Independence. Notre Dame, BYU.
BYU would win that game.
Yeah. Well,
I'm just saying it right here. BYU would win that game.
Wait, in Provo or in South Bend?
Doesn't matter.
No.
I think they win that either way.
They're
good.
Should they put them in the college football playoff?
No. But they shouldn't put Notre Dame in the college football playoff either. So
here's our BYU Cougars, number 12 in the country, by the way.
Yeah, I think they should be top 10.
Oh, they beat UTSA 27-20.
I don't care. I think
they gave up 26 points to Houston and Dana Holgorsen.
Houston's improved this year.
But they did beat Louisiana Tech 45-14. They had their game against Army canceled.
They just stomped Navy.
Yeah, they beat Navy 55-3. Troy 48-7. I don't know. I don't think BYU is better than Liberty.
I think it's not even close. I think they're better than Liberty.
Liberty plays Virginia Tech. That'll be interesting.
Navy's a good team too. Navy's 3-2.
Ryan Mitchells went to middle school with him.
They're a decent team.
Jesse, I want you to root for the best name in all of college sports, the unbeaten 25th ranked Chanticleers of Coastal Carolina.
Wait, Chanticleers are ranked in FBS now?
Yeah, they just beat Louisiana. It was
They
a
just
huge
got into
game.
FBS a few years ago.
Louisiana Lafayette.
Yeah. That was quietly a huge matchup like last Thursday, I believe it was.
Hey,
Louisiana
today,
Lafayette versus –
matchup this week.
Who's really upped his completion percentage recently? Who's really upped his completion percentage recently?
Yeah.
Marshall quarterback Grant Wells. Now, I've been on the Thundering Herd bandwagon all season. That's the team that you guys really need to watch out for.
Game. You watch them beat Eastern Kentucky 59-0 on opening weekend.
Yes, but they've played well since then, I believe.
They've had 2 games postponed, and they're 4-0.
Yes.
And they steamrolled Louisiana Tech. They steamrolled Western Kentucky.
Sounds like everybody's steamrolling Louisiana Tech.
They beat Appalachian State by 10, and Appalachian State's been a good program.
We've got Louisiana.
Oh, okay. Just a second, though. We got to touch on LSU football. I mean.
Well, they didn't play last week.
I know, but I think we forgot to mention that the Mizzou Tigers, MIZZOU.
That was a great game.
Just scoring 55 points on the defending national champs.
They lost everybody.
I don't care. Still, the LSU should have enough talent to. It doesn't matter how bad they are.
Les Miles would have replenished them.
They should have enough talent to beat Mizzou and Vanderbilt. Obviously, I know they beat Vanderbilt, but they should have enough talent to beat Mizzou.
Miles should have replenished them.
Is there some super Southern guy down in Louisiana yelling about how Les Miles would have replenished the Tiger?
I mean,
I don't think anyone cares because Coach O coached him to a title.
No, have you ever listened to a Paul Feinbaum show? Like what?
But here's my thing, though.
Shortest memory of anybody.
So Les Miles was kind of hated at LSU. I've gone to a couple of games on neutral sites that involve LSU and talked to some of their fans, and they hated Les Miles. Like, as successful as he kind of was there, they absolutely despised him.
Yeah, but like, you despise someone until like Edo doesn't make the defending champion team good, and then you're like, if Les Miles had won the national championship, we would have been 10-3 the next year.
I'm also gonna say this. This might also be controversial. It might not. I don't know. Coach O is not a top 15 coach in college football, and I'm not sure he's top 20.
I don't think he's anything good. He's just entertaining.
I think he's good motivator. I think he definitely pushes his players, but like,
isn't there scandal around him now too? Like,
there's been discussions.
Anybody want to talk about the Saints scandal?
Saints? What Saints scandal?
See, nobody knows about it, but look it up. I'm not gonna. We're gonna move on, but look up.
No. I have one more college football team to talk about. The unbeaten Mustangs of SMU.
SMU is back.
They have a huge game this week, right? They play Cincinnati, right?
They play Cincy this week. Huge match.
Is this a good weekend? Like, should I really just plop on
This
my
is
couch?
a great college football weekend. The Saturday, I believe Saturday has 5 ranked versus ranked matchups, and then like some of the non-ranked versus ranked are really good too.
So here's our ranked matchups. We have NC State, UNC. Yeah, you're right.
NC State's ranked how?
They're 4-1. Iowa State, Oklahoma State.
That's a huge game. I love that game. I think Iowa State's winning that.
For the rest of the season.
I think Iowa State's winning that game.
You have Michigan, Minnesota, which we touched on. Cincy, SMU, which we touched on. That's it for the ranked on ranked match.
Then you got Penn State versus Indiana, which is a sneaky, really good game. Indiana's going to be a really good team this year. Indiana is probably, of the non-ranked Big Ten teams, Indiana's probably the best one. They went 8-4 last year. I don't remember if they beat Tennessee or not in their bowl game, but they played Tennessee really tight in their bowl game. They're clearly a program that's way rising up, and this would be a huge win for them if they could beat Penn State. So that's definitely one to keep an eye on too.
Clemson's going to beat Cuse 76-0.
That's going to be entertaining to watch for a completely different reason. That and Ohio State, Nebraska are both going to be really fun to watch for reasons not relating to competitiveness.
So I put on the poll. Indiana football school, yes, no, and Bob Knight is the third choice. I'm voting Bob Knight.
I get that Fox is hyping up the Big Ten returning, but I really think it's a joke that they're sending their studio crew to the Horseshoe when their baseball studio crew is still in LA during the World Series.
It's a little it's really.
That's my media take of the week. That's my media take of the week.
It's just Fox is caring more about college football right now than anything else. They're really trying to build up their brand as having the best college football coverage. No, they already know they have baseball.
Urban Meyer. It's literally Urban Meyer.
Also,
they've got a great crew, though. They've got a great crew. I mean, Urban Meyer, Reggie Bush, Matt Leinart, I like all of them. I don't really watch it that much because I watch College Game Day, but yeah, Brady Quinn too, even though he needs to lay off the makeup. But
it was kind of painful.
He looks like a wax figure.
Look, it's really bad.
Have you seen him next to Dick Stockton? On NFL games, he makes Dick Stockton.
Okay, first of all, Dick Stockton
300 years old.
Should be retired. Second of all, also speaking of people that should be retired, Lee Corso should be retired.
He's been so good. He has been so good this year on College Game Day because he has just been a glorious mess this year on college football.
It's the best. No, he's a senile old man, and he embraces it.
brings nothing to the conversation.
I don't care that
except the pick.
He makes
he's
it
great.
No, the best part is when he's there and like when he's talking and Kirk Herbstreit's reaction is
It's so much better though now with their current setup where he's off at his house and stuff like that, and like whenever he's on, there's like mascots hanging out behind him, like grilling and stuff, and like but I like it so much better because like they have most of the show. Lee Corso's barely on. Most of the show is David Pollack, Desmond Howard, and Kirk Herbstreit and Reese. Like that's most of the show, and then they just bring Lee in at random points for a couple minutes to just say nonsense.
Yeah, it's great. I love it. It's anybody that doesn't like Lee Corso doesn't get the show.
Do you agree real quick before you move on? Do you agree that that they are setting it up that Pat McAfee is going to be the Lee Corso replacement? It feels a lot like it when I watch College Game Day.
I think he'd be a really good replacement.
Why isn't Pat McAfee calling games this year?
I don't know.
He got a better
Great
job.
last year with Adam Amin. I mean, I know Adam Amin went to Fox and is calling.
Adam Amin went to Fox.
They're a great team. There's one time when there's a fight in a game, and like as like the camera kind of cut away from it, and Pat McAfee just goes, "Oh, we got a fight going now, boys. Let's go."
It's great. Like, can you imagine like the after the game scenes that went on with Hasselbeck, Amin, and
I was bummed because Adam Amin and Dusty Dvorak used to be a great duo, and then I was like, oh, I'm kind of bummed that they're gone. And then that team last year that they tried out was just so good.
Yeah, he loved it. Did you watch their national championship coverage?
I was flipping a lot during that.
They were just wandering around the sideline. It was incredible. I can't believe that was this year, but whatever. But we're still talking college football.
How far into this are we?
On this show,
we spent like 40 minutes on college football.
This is my total goal when Max is on. Is just to spend 40 minutes on college football. But I want to go.
We didn't even talk about the SEC once.
Oh, we talked about LSU.
Who cares? Alabama's gonna win that thing anyway.
Their defense is bad though.
Alabama's overrated. Alabama's always overrated. Like they always lose that game.
I don't know if I'll go there, but
Alabama always loses that game. But
next topic.
Speaking of Fox, the World Series, and I'm sure they asked if their studio show could be there, and the MLB said no.
They're all relatively young. Like it's Frank Thomas, A-Rod.
Frank Thomas can probably if Frank Thomas got the virus, he could probably just take some Nugenics and steal your wife.
I was thinking the same thing. I was gonna make a comment on that, but I was trying to remember exactly what like supplement it is that he has commercials for.
If A-Rod caught the virus, all he has to do is like dance with his wife to get it out of him. And if Poppy got the virus, Poppy survived a gunshot wound.
Yeah, Poppy'd be fine.
I saw Big Poppy in a restaurant in LA once.
Really?
That's awesome. Did you say hi to him?
No, I didn't want to bother him.
Okay, that's somebody that I would totally bother because I know if I
saw him, and it's like I saw him, and it was kind of in a low lighted restaurant. It was kind of dark, and I was sitting there, and I was like, that guy looks a lot like David Ortiz. So like I just like kind of walked by him, like faking I was going to the bathroom and walked by him, and I heard like 3 words out of his mouth. I'm like, it's definitely David Ortiz.
By the way, situation right now in the World Series game, the Rays are up 2. It's the bottom of the 8th inning. 2 outs. Cody Bellinger's coming up as the potential tying run.
Ooh.
They're doing a pitching change right now.
Interesting. I can't believe that game is still on. I almost held out for that, but good thing I didn't. But I wanted to give my World Series take. Speaking of that, and yesterday Clayton Kershaw. I'm just going to talk about game 1 because game 2 is still going on. Game 1. Clayton Kershaw went 6 innings, 2 hits, 1 run, 1 earned run, 1 walk, 8 strikeouts. Do it in a game 7 against a fellow ace pitcher, and then I will give you credit for being a great coach.
How about do it? Yeah, how about do it on a when your team has a chance to win the series?
Do it on 3 days rest. Do it on short rest when your team has a chance to win the World Series. Go 8 innings, not 6. Be an ace. Do it in the playoffs. Don't just give us shades of doing it in the playoffs. Actually do it in the playoffs.
By the way, Blake
Choker.
Snell Blake Snell was the Cy Young award-winning pitcher. This guy, including tonight and in the playoffs, has not finished 6 innings in a start.
Yeah, he had a no-hitter going through like 4 1/3.
Yeah.
Max, what's your World Series opinion?
Who's in it?
The Rays and the Dodgers.
Yeah. I don't know.
I really think that, number one, ratings are down in all sports, which is the reality of cord cutting and also people just losing interest this year, especially in an election year. But at the same time, baseball just had probably its best championship series plural since 2004. They both went 7 games.
Yeah.
There were a lot of good, down to the wire games. The game 7s were pretty good as well.
Yeah, I have an opinion on this. And, what do you need to watch with the election coverage? What do you need to find out about these candidates? I don't want to get.
It's entertaining.
Yeah, it is entertaining, but
That's all I'm watching.
I'll watch.
I've already voted and I was watching stuff.
Yeah, I've already voted too. It's just it's just, but nothing's more. I feel like the World Series is more entertaining than a Trump-Biden debate.
Number one, the Trump-Biden debate's tomorrow night. Fox is airing the Giants and Eagles because that's the Thursday night game.
I will watch the debate a little bit, but I'll also watch Giants.
I'm gonna watch
Giants,
both.
Eagles.
Yeah, it's gonna be another Boston Scott breakout game because Miles Sanders got hurt.
What a terrible game. I'm sorry, no offense.
It's got major playoff implications.
Do they have 2 combined wins and it has major?
It's 1-5 versus 1-4-1. I believe if the Giants win, they will propel themselves to at least second, maybe first.
They will be second.
Yeah, because the Cowboys are the Cowboys are 2-4. So if the Giants win and the Cowboys
beat the Giants.
Yeah, the Cowboys beat the Giants. So yeah,
it's such a crapshoot. Washington beat
Philly. That's their only win. They were a bad half of football away from being 0-6 too.
No, they had the Eagles had a good half of football in the first part of that game, but. I don't know. I just feel really weird in the fact that after this World Series, all we're going to have probably for 2 months is just football.
Nope, college basketball starting at the end of November.
End of November. So a month of just football. So, which, in an ideal world, everyone's okay with that.
Just football? Because, I think there's stuff like golf going on, too. Saying.
We got the Masters.
The Masters is in 2 weeks.
Yeah, the Masters, NASCAR, which is almost done. But, in terms of the major sports, just football. So, which, in most cases, that's what everyone really thinks about. But honestly, not having the NBA starting up right about now, I know a lot of people.
I'm fine with it. November and December NBA basketball is maybe the worst sports in the world. So
it is really bad.
But at the same time, the NBA draft is next month, and I have no idea who.
Oh, I'm so excited for some team to go 1 or 2 on Anthony Edwards, and then for him to average 10 points and 6 rebounds.
LaMelo's going number 1.
Somebody had him projected at 7th.
Yeah, he's going 1.
No one knows what they're doing with this year's draft. They didn't get to see anyone in an NCAA tournament. Half the players are international and haven't played in 6 months.
This is a huge international season for players in the draft.
And technically, you count LaMelo Ball as international. But
half of the top 10 will be international players.
Yeah, even though none of them have played because of COVID. So it's ridiculous, but but I digress. Take advantage of the World Series. if you choose to. I really think this is going to be a 7-game series. And the Rays, by the way, just got out of the inning, so they're up 2 going in the 9th.
Dodgers in 5. All right. Well, speaking of number 1 draft picks, John Wall is being John Wall. So
when it's not being John Wall.
A couple weeks ago, he did some gang signs. Now he goes on an interview on ESPN. I'm just going to play the highly questionable clip of them talking about it. This is, I guess, courtesy of ESPN. We'll probably get copyright claim for this, but whatever. Here we go.
Oh my gosh. Okay. By the way, there has been a new golf match announced.
Oh yeah, the match.
Have you heard who is playing in it?
Yes,
I believe so. Yeah.
There's one golfer in there.
Phil and Barkley versus Curry and Peyton.
Oh, okay. Curry's a golfer.
What a weird group of 4 players.
But
how did they pick those 4?
I had no idea. But here we go.
Who won the Celebrity Open this year? I'm going to look this up. But
it was some country singer or something. But here's the clip from Highly Questionable. Here's John Wall. It's absolutely incredible.
All right, we got a TV show on this network called Monday Tailgate. It is co-hosted by Jason Fitz and Phil Yates, and they decided they want to talk to John Wall about football. He's a Cowboys fan.
So who in the NBA is the biggest NFL trash talking person that you like to go at when the Cowboys are playing?
Why?
I don't know, to be honest, man, because everybody got different teams against a lot of Cowboys fans, so I really don't have trash talking with a lot of my teammates or anything like that, because, a lot of people switch team when the players switch, so they don't really got a legit team like I do.
In the NFC East and can have a pretty commanding lead with a win tonight. That part is good. Be honest. How much do you enjoy seeing the Eagles and also the football team and also the Giants stumble out of the gate so far this season?
Repeat that question, please. I'm sorry.
So far this season, because it has been a rough go. Philly, Washington,
That's so disrespectful. Oh, it's been great. It's been great.
But y'all still analyzing the Cowboys.
The best teams, and we got to win, but it's going to be tough.
Portfield Yates,
But I think
you've been in that situation before where you're talking, you just know the other person's not listening, but you just got to keep going, maybe stretch out the question until he can actually get a response.
All right. Thoughts?
I don't know. I think it's funny.
He totally knew what he was doing, right?
Yeah.
Can I put that on the poll? Did John Wall totally know what he was doing?
Sure.
But my favorite thing is he thinks that Bradley Beal wants to stay in DC because he thinks that John Wall and him can bring in free agents.
Yeah.
What do you think, Kling?
That's I'm speechless. No.
That's my point guard.
That's
my point guard.
Good.
Hey, you take him on the Sixers over Ben Simmons.
I would take him I would take the backup point guard on the worst college basketball team, the Ben Simmons.
Wow, strong takes on Ben Simmons.
Yeah, he sucks.
He can't shoot. All right, here comes Philly Matt. Philly Matt, let's go. All right, how bad does he suck? Come on, Matt.
Oh, we're gonna do.
Come on. No. You gotta go. Philly Matt.
Style. No. You have.
You're putting rocks. You're putting rocks and snowballs and throwing them at Santa Claus right now.
Here is what we do. I'm gonna say Ben Simmons is so bad, and you guys are gonna say, how bad is he?
How bad is he?
I'm gonna finish the sentence. I gotta think of. All right, you ready?
Yeah. How bad?
Ben Simmons is so bad.
How bad
is he?
Any player on the 10-win Sixers of 2015, 2016 is better than him. Do you want one more superlative?
Sure.
Ben Simmons. All right, Ben Simmons is so bad.
How bad is he?
Gritty's a better point guard than him.
Is that really what y'all do? Because this is the worst. It's literally the worst place.
No, I got one more.
I wouldn't be a fan of sports if I lived in Philly. Like, y'all are terrible.
Ben Simmons is so bad.
How bad
is he?
The Philly Fanatic is better at basketball than him.
This is a horrible segment. We're moving on.
I don't even know how he's an all-star. Like, I think it's just because he dated one of the Kardashians. Like,
yeah, it's a Jenner, but
yeah, same thing.
Matt, you have a little bit of we have to perform a funeral on the show today for a couple of famous Tempe establishments, one of which was owned by country singer Dierks Bentley.
It bore the name Dierks Bentley's Whiskey Row, but everyone just called it Whiskey Row. And its next door neighbor, El Jefe. It's a sad day when you think about the fact that I spent a lot of time and a lot of money in those establishments, but I think the memories are what comes paramount. Now, I can criticize these places all they want. They had, market prices for drinks, which is fine, especially for places that were popular. I will say some nights you could get like a pitcher of beer. They called them Dukes. They're like 24 ounces, no, more like 32 ounces for like $5, like before midnight. Like that was like, I'm pretty sure I've drank a couple of those on an outing. But the best bouncer, he didn't check my ID my entire senior year. Now, granted, I went there almost every weekend. The best bathroom attendant in Tempe, who like was always nice, always like dapping you up, giving you paper towels, giving you a pump of soap, offering you mints and stuff. I mean, if you tipped them, you could have got like, whatever you need to do to have a good night. But I will share a couple memories from that place that they're just funny. So
you remember stuff?
What's that?
You remember stuff?
Yeah, somehow.
Okay.
So the first one was my former co-host's 21st birthday, Matt Stoboff. We pre-gamed at his place. He was already. I'm not going to say.
Had a lot of burgers.
What's that?
A lot of burgers.
Yeah, he was not in a cognitive state. We went to Whiskey Row. He was very, again, not in a cognitive state. He I think he forced me to take a shot with him. I'm
sure he appreciates this, by the way.
He found these people that I don't even know. I thought they were his frat bros. I don't know. But then he wanted to leave. So he takes me by the hand. He wanted me to walk him out of there. I start walking toward the exit. He's yanking on me, pulling me the other way, makes me fall down. A guard sees him do that and walked him out to the back exit. And then I try to calm him down, get him into an Uber, and he runs away. And I couldn't find him the rest of the night.
No!
Yeah, I wind up walking back to his place, which was like a mile away, just angry at him. But the second story, and this is the funniest story of the entire thing, Max, our friend Mr. Pickale, we did a pub crawl at the end of our senior year. And
this is awesome.
And Mr. Pickle and the voice of the Lancers, Mr. Braden Bell, were the winning team. We all wind up going to Whiskey Row after this is all done. Pickale is standing up on the dance floor sleeping. He is clocked out standing up. I remember one of my friends just snapped his fingers waking him up, and he's still it's like waking somebody up. Those are probably the two of the best memories I have. I mean, I remember probably one of the last times I was there. Well, actually, I went there after graduation back last September.
I did too. All right. Let me go. So Jeremy graduated, and Jeremy, myself, and Marie Jeremy's girlfriend, went out to
Yeah.
Whiskey Row, and it was
Yeah.
it was a fun night. I believe I've been there I went there with Travis, and then I also I remember going there a couple times just in the daytime to get their burgers, which were phenomenal. If you ever had them, like they're actual legitimate burgers, and that was just like that was a good like memory from my freshman years. Like me and my freshman year roommate Alex Gall went and got burgers at Whiskey Row like early on in our college time.
I never ate there, so
Excellent
I'd be
food, actually.
to see how their setup was with tables. But I mean, I remember going there after ASU games. Like they had their patio open. Like it was an awesome place to be. Yeah, the cornhole. Yeah.
Sucked. El Jefe was so small. I hated that place. I don't really like Whiskey Row that much. My favorite is Casa. I like Casa.
Okay, everyone likes Casa, but I mean, Casa's just overrated and also probably led to Arizona having a spike in COVID cases.
Oh, yeah, totally. I'm tired of that. None of these clubs should be open. They should just be open like normal, regular bars if they are open at all. But
I just feel bad that these places just, have been impacted so bad by health guidelines that the ways that they basically can't make money. So
yeah, it's sad. We need a vaccine. Let's get this thing going.
We're almost there. But
hopefully.
But maybe in the future, once things get back going, the hospitality group could reapply. And I mean, they vacated, so they have to lease that land again. But I'm hoping for the day that Mill Avenue in Tempe gets popping again.
Oh, it's kind of popping, but in a very scary way. Mount Rushmore of Disney characters, part 2.
Okay, I forget who my part 1 was besides Anna and Sully. And Donald Duck. That's 3 of the 4. I forget the 4th. Oh, I know the 4th.
Let's do this snake style, though. Let's do this snake style. I'll go first. Matt, you go. Max twice, back to Matt, then me twice, then William.
I like that idea.
Yeah. All right, so I'm going to start, and mine are all hot takes. So my first one is Rolly from 101 Dalmatians. Cute little guy. He's always hungry. I love him. Matt.
Did anyone say Mickey Mouse last week?
We didn't allow it.
Off the list. Mickey Mouse is
off the list?
He's too obvious.
Why? Because
too obvious.
The spokesperson.
Yeah, he's the spokesperson. He's
too obvious.
He's the symbol of the.
Well, no one said Olaf, so I'm gonna go Olaf because he's the funny character in Frozen and Frozen 2.
Matt.
Okay. I'm going with a deep cut here, and it is Kronk from Emperor's New Groove.
Wow,
one of the funniest characters in Disney history.
That is a great take. Give me faith in that movie. All right, your second one.
So my second one is he's right here. It's the child. His name is the child. His name is not Baby Yoda. It is the child. And he's just the most adorable little character ever. I mean, he makes every single
fully, but okay.
No, he makes every single scene he's in so much better.
Matt.
Winnie the Pooh.
Okay, this was one we had discussion on too, because Winnie the Pooh was bought by Disney.
So I think of him as Disney.
For the sake of
time, I can take Kermit.
For the sake of time, since we've already been on for an hour, I'm going to say that's okay, and I will go with my next 2. Will Turner from Pirates of the Caribbean.
Okay, yeah.
I love.
You picked 2 Pirates of the Caribbean characters, and neither of them are the best one yet.
Who's the best one? Jack Sparrow?
Yes.
3rd or 4th. I might pick Keira Knightley's character over that one. There's a lot of good characters in that movie, but my second one's Will Turner. I'm a big fan of Will Turner. Orlando Bloom, he's great. He's also like a thing with Katy Perry now. My next one is another pirate-themed Disney movie, Mr. Smee, or just Smee from what's the name of
Peter
that?
Pan.
Peter Pan. Yeah, I'm a big fan. Smee is so funny. Big fan of that character. Way better than Captain Hook. Way better than Peter Pan is the most annoying. Like, just you can grow up, dude. It's okay. Matt, you're third.
Tarzan.
Okay.
I like it.
Animated Tarzan, of course.
Yep.
There was a real. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. That movie.
That wasn't Disney though. The live action one wasn't.
Really?
No, it wasn't Disney.
Okay, I heard it wasn't good.
Tarzan's a public domain property, so anyone can make a movie of him.
Interesting. Is that why like DreamWorks was allowed to use the characters, Disney characters, in Shrek? Are those public domain?
Yeah, like Pinocchio and stuff.
Yeah. Isn't Tarzan like racist?
Do you want me to switch mine? Because I really can switch. I'll switch it right
No,
now.
I'm not saying that. No, I'm just asking a question. Like,
I don't think he is.
Is it not Tarzan the character, but like, isn't the movie like? Aren't there elements of that movie?
Yeah, probably, but here's the thing: now if you watch on Disney Plus, there's disclaimers. So.
I'm glad that they've added disclaimers at least.
I mean, I'm literally throwing darts on a list right here. So like.
We're not assuming that Tarzan the character is racist.
Let's get your next two.
We're assuming that there's racist elements to the movie.
Right, so I've got my next two, one of which also comes from a movie, some probably racist elements, but Genie from Aladdin. I mean, I can't believe it's gotten this long without Genie being mentioned. Genie is one of the best characters.
Not the Will Smith version, though.
I like the Will Smith version, too. I thought he brought something fun and interesting to the character.
I mean, honestly, he was the best part of that terrible remake, but...
I think that movie's actually pretty good.
It was awful.
I actually kind of like that remake.
Worst.
I think it's one of the better remakes. I think for the ones that are like shot-for-shot remakes, because most of the good ones are the ones where they like change the entire plot. Of the shot-for-shot remakes, I actually thought that was the best.
And by the way, speaking of racist movies, Peter Pan has like
also
most racist elements. So
also some very
this is a take that I've been on, that people need to look down Disney's racist past a lot more than they do.
Well, I mean, yeah, there's very problematic.
Lots of bad ones, lots of them.
But here's my thing: Aladdin is a lot more problematic than something like Peter Pan or something, because it's like it was like the 40s. Like,
yeah, and Aladdin was made in like the 90s.
Like that's why I'm saying Aladdin is a lot worse. But but yeah, and then my last pick is old school Cheshire Cat.
Ooh.
Great character. Great character.
Good pick.
The last one is a movie I've not seen since I don't know when, and honestly, I liked the movie when it came out, and I'm pretty sure I liked the subsequent series after it came out, and that's Stitch from Lilo and Stitch.
Yes, Stitch is a great choice.
Yep, he's just
awesome choice. Awesome choice. All right, my last one is Crush from Finding Nemo.
Yeah, best part of that movie.
Honestly, there's a lot. That movie's great. But do you think Finding Nemo's overrated?
Here's my thing. I used to really, really love it, and I rewatched it earlier this year when I rewatched all the Pixar movies. I rewatched it. I don't think it's held up super well.
Really?
Yeah, it's just something about it just didn't really hold up to me too well.
Maybe it's just the fact that we've all seen it so much.
I think that's probably a fair point.
Like, you know exactly what's happening. But, like, it's great. Like, I love Crush.
Crush is great.
I like the sharks. They're good, too.
Mm-hmm. The pelican?
Yeah.
Great.
I want to take a complete 180, 360, actually, on this Disney talk. Speaking on the topic of movies, I've never seen Borat, and I want to see both Borats. Second one.
Oh, we have coming up here.
You've never seen Borat?
I've never seen Borat either. But we're gonna.
It's so funny.
We're gonna go into that, I think, in Max's movie segment. But first, next week I want to do DreamWorks characters
Well, yes.
And I'm going to just pick 4 characters from Shrek.
Yeah, I was gonna say if you get, past Shrek,
Madagascar.
A lot of good Madagascar.
there are good DreamWorks movies, just like characters.
Flushed Away.
I really love the movie.
Tale.
I really loved the movie last year, Abominable. I don't know if anyone else here saw it. I thought that was a really, really good movie. I can't remember any of the characters' names from it.
What about Ice Age? That's DreamWorks, right?
Yeah, Ice Age.
There's a lot of characters.
Trolls.
Yeah, we can
Despicable Me.
Despicable Me is Illumination.
Okay. Yeah, that's
right. There's a third company. I met the screenwriters for Despicable Me.
I like Despicable Me. I think the first 2 are really good.
It's Steve Carell's. It's a top 5 Steve Carell role.
Oh no, I don't agree with that. But
it's actually my 3rd favorite Steve Carell role. Obviously, Michael Scott, then 40-Year-Old Virgin character, and then
Brick Tamland.
Brick Tamland's 4.
Foxcatcher.
Foxcatcher's a serious movie.
I don't care. The Big Short. He's so good in so many. Crazy Stupid Love. He's so good in so many movies.
He plays himself. All right, let's go into this though, because Max has a movie and he kind of wants to talk about something that's gonna happen in Borat, which is gonna be crazy.
Oh, no.
I don't know how much I want to talk about that, but
No, I don't.
You don't have to. If you Matt, do you not want spoilers?
He's definitely heard about it.
Even look. First of all, First of all, I don't know the validity of this report about the former mayor of New York City.
Okay, we'll go into that. We'll
I
get
guess we're
into
going
that.
into it. Let me play the intro.
It's time for everyone's favorite segment. Well, kind of. Life moves pretty fast. You don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it. There are no 2 words in the English language more harmful than good job. Always have Max. Here's Movies with Max.
Hey guys.
Hey.
Okay. So I guess we'll tackle Borat first.
Okay.
So yes, this report that came out today, I won't go into any specifics because anybody who's watching it, obviously if it's possible, it would be great to go into this without knowing anything. So yes, certain former mayor of New York who works very closely with the president does have an appearance.
Used to be called America's
Borat 2.
mayor.
Yeah, it does have an appearance in Borat 2.
He got cheered at Yankee Stadium, now he gets booed.
Yeah. He does have an appearance in Borat 2. Is apparently very, very what happened to him is what happens when people are in Borat movies.
But now can you explain the validity of this? Because it's like, well, this is a British tabloid got their hand on an advanced screening of this.
No, so this is actually a legit thing. Because they did send out screeners. Today was the first day that they sent out screeners for critics to watch. And it has been fully kind of agreed upon by everybody that this is actually in the movie. Legitimate critics who I follow, they pretty much all talk about this one scene. It is definitely the talking point of the movie. And so, I know you guys haven't seen Borat, but I'm sure you guys are familiar with what Borat is, which is where...
Let me just give a quick description.
Yeah, so Borat is basically... Sacha Baron Cohen is playing this character, Borat, who is a journalist in Kazakhstan who comes to America to study them. And Sacha Baron Cohen is the only actor in the movie. Everyone else that he's interacting with are real people, that he is doing this crazy stuff and the reactions are legitimate. They're real. And so it's a character being put into a real life setting. And so that's kind of how they got involved with this former mayor of New York, is that, yes, that these were people playing characters. Because in this one, his daughter is also a character. And so there's 2 of them now, and they got interacting with Rudy Giuliani in this one. And so the whole comedy of the movie are
comedy,
people reacting.
essentially, but it's like they're just taking people off guard.
The whole comedy
one of
is
the most famous scenes of the movie happened, like I've said, at the Civic Center in my town at a rodeo.
You could probably debate that's the most famous scene in the movie.
Yep, 94.9 Star Country, the little sign you see behind it, like that radio station is everywhere in my town, like always cabling. You can always spin their little wheel, like it's part of like a group of 3 different radio stations. Like that's where my church has mass on Easter.
And the first and the first is legitimately, I think, one of the funniest movies ever made. I mean, Sacha Baron Cohen is a genius. His performance is amazing. It was actually nominated for an Oscar for Best Screenplay. The first one was.
He's amazing in
he was. Yeah, he is. He's a great actor. And that can kind of transition us into the next part of this, which is
real quick. Though,
go ahead.
Speaking of Madagascar,
Sacha Baron Cohen. Yep.
He makes and Talladega Nights.
Talladega
Nights.
Very true. And now that we are talking about Sacha Baron Cohen, we can talk about how he might get his first Oscar nomination for acting this year
because
for the movie.
Of how weak the field is, right?
But this is for a different movie, which is The Trial of the Chicago 7, which just dropped on Netflix last Friday. And a lot of people believe this is the Best Picture favorite. Sacha Baron Cohen, just kind of following up on the Sacha Baron Cohen talk, is one of the standouts in this movie. He has a very, very good shot at getting nominated for Best Supporting Actor for this movie. He plays a character who is given a lot to do. He's a hippie kind of character, and he plays kind of the classic hippie role. But there's something like a lot deeper about his performance. Like you can tell the person who he plays is a real person who unfortunately ended up killing themselves like 10 years later. So you can kind of see that darkness in Sacha Baron Cohen's performance. I think he really brings a lot out of it. But the movie overall, it's written and directed by Aaron Sorkin. Aaron Sorkin's most known for writing West Wing, Moneyball, The Social Network, a lot of great movies. And this is very much in kind of that same vein. It's a movie about the Chicago 7 who were arrested for inciting riots in Chicago during the 1960s in protest of racial injustice and of the Vietnam War. So it's obviously a very, very timely movie. And this whole movie is about their trial. And it's really interesting to kind of see it unfold because it really keeps you in the dark about what really happened when they got arrested, when they incited the riot. It kind of keeps you in the dark. And then towards the end of the movie, it kind of starts going back in time and showing you the events that led up to all of this. And I think it was a really, effective way to show it because you are guessing, you are kind of playing along with the jury. It's like, oh, do I believe this? Do I not believe this? And then in the end, they show you what happens. And then you kind of make your decision from there. I don't think it's an amazingly made movie. I think it's very well written. I think it's very well structured. I think it's very well acted. It's just kind of one of those movies that felt like something was missing. Like it's a solid 7 out of 10 movie in my opinion, but it's definitely a lock to get nominated for Best Picture. It's probably a lock to get at least 1, maybe 2 actors in the supporting acting. It's one of those movies that has 12 main characters, and all of them are probably going to be in the supporting acting category. And a couple of them are probably likely to get nominated. It's definitely getting nominated for Best Screenplay, probably winning Best Screenplay, probably going to win Best Editing. So this is a major awards player. It's probably the first true awards player that's come out this year.
All right. Awesome stuff.
What are we doing?
All right, let's go into what are we doing. And my what are we doing is U.S. men's national team soccer fans. They are just like, I get an ESPN notification today that says, is Mexico in trouble of being the top spot in CONCACAF? Because of
cares.
I care because get to a World Cup. That's all I gotta say. Get to a World Cup first, and then tell me that you're gonna be better than Mexico. Mexico is so much better at soccer than the United States. The United States is sad at men's soccer. It is a disgrace. We are a massive country, and we couldn't beat Trinidad and Tobago, which is about the size of Phoenix. And the United States has so many more people. My take is that all the best soccer players in America are kickers in the NFL.
Okay, quick rebuttal to that. Well, not rebuttal, but I remember that game. They didn't have an English language broadcast to that game. It was only on like Telemundo.
Yeah, because nobody cares about soccer here. Nobody cares. They're not good. They're irrelevant.
You care more about the Premier League than any American team, whether it be the Galaxy or
the women's team is very well liked, but that's because they're good.
More people like the Premier League than the women's team, but
maybe. But like this whole like U.S. men's national soccer team is gonna be good thing sometime soon. It's just not gonna happen. I'm sorry.
It's never gonna happen. These good players are gonna go to the Premier League, be superstars, and not give a damn about playing in the World Cup for the United States.
Yes, exactly. All right.
What are we doing?
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Max.
Yeah, I don't have anything.
I got one.
What are we doing?
Peanuts. Don't know if you guys heard, but the iconic
Yes.
Charlie Brown Christmas, Charlie Brown Thanksgiving,
which is the best of the three.
Thanksgiving, yeah. Thanksgiving's the best.
Thank you.
Charlie Brown are not going to be on TV this year.
What?
Because Apple bought the rights to them. They're going to extremely be streamed on Apple TV Plus. Now, there is some light at the end of the tunnel. For a few days, it'll be able to be viewed for free, which is good, but only for a few days. Like, I know Apple subscribers can watch the Halloween one right now, but I think it's closer to Halloween for like 3 days. It'll be free. Same with the other two.
It's a public service not showing The Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. That movie sucks, or that show sucks.
The Thanksgiving one is really good. The Christmas one is a classic. The Christmas one.
I agree. The Christmas one's definitely the second best.
Okay.
You hear instrumentals from that show on the radio.
It's a legitimate Christmas song now.
Movie. It's a Christmas movie, essentially.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
One, but yeah.
All right.
But The Great Pumpkin sucks.
All right.
I'm just gonna say it. The Snoopy Red Baron stuff is so hard to watch. Is so bad.
That's a Halloween one, or is that Thanksgiving?
Wait, what?
That's Halloween one. That's the Halloween one. Is what?
Wait, Snoopy is a flying ace, though.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so bad.
What?
It's so bad. It's so cringe.
Why?
It's so cringe.
The Thanksgiving one has misentitled Peppermint Patty showing up to their little potluck and complaining about having popcorn and toast.
I love the Thanksgiving one though.
Hold on.
I think it's so good.
Max, we got to address why you don't like Snoopy as a World War I flying.
It's so boring.
What? It's so adorable.
So boring. No, it's so boring.
Okay. All right. Well, I am the expert on all things Charlie Brown. I had 3 comic books when I was a kid. I read it every morning in the newspaper. I own a box set of Charlie Brown Christmas, Charlie Brown, Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown.
By the way, I have the Charlie Brown Christmas on my DVR,
so yes, I am the expert. Number one, you guys haven't seen a good Charlie Brown until you've seen Charlie Brown Easter, because Charlie Brown Easter is phenomenal. You need to watch
I like Valentine's Day one too.
Yes, Valentine's Day one, also very good. Great Pumpkin, I would agree with Max. It's not that great. For some reason, I've seen it more, though, than the Christmas one. And let me tell you about you know why the Great Pumpkin is annoying? Because Linus is annoying. Linus is so
also
annoying.
True.
But however, he's a lot more funny in the Easter one because he says there's an Easter beagle, which is just ridiculous. And then Snoopy pretends to be an Easter Eel. But Snoopy is the single greatest character. Anything involving him, the root beer,
usually yes.
The root
Not in
beer,
the Great Pumpkin though.
I don't understand how you don't like the Sop with Camel Flying Ace. Like
I
the best.
don't know if you want me to share and view with you guys a 4-minute SNL sketch of them making.
Oh shoot, we were gonna talk about that.
SNL. Are you talking about you're a
rap
bastard? Yes.
With Bill Hader as Al Pacino, Kate McKinnon as Edie Falco playing Lucy, and offering Charlie Brown actual psych meds, and then
Larry David is the host that week, right? I believe
it was Martin Short playing Larry David. You have no idea that it's Martin Short. It's the best.
Okay,
Larry
I think I
David
probably just always assumed that was actually Larry David.
No, it's Martin Short playing Larry David, because at the end he does it's pretty good.
That is a great sketch. I think that is a really funny sketch.
That and Burn Your Enthusiasm are my two favorite sketches ever.
Max, I mean,
they're no Dr. Beeman's Office test results, which is the greatest sketch of all time. But, have you ever seen that sketch, Matt?
Which one's that? That's not.
It's Will Ferrell. It's amazing.
It's Will Ferrell just trying to save the worst sketch of all time, and it's so funny.
Every Will Ferrell or Jimmy Fallon sketch on that show.
Max, do you have your rankings near you?
No, I don't.
Do you know your top 5 though of the sketches this year off the top of your head? Because
are we including? I'm just gonna say off the top. Weekend Update's been fantastic this year.
I would say like the Weekend Update where they interview someone, that counts as a sketch.
Okay. So I will say in my top 5, if we're including when they interview somebody, I thought as usual the Trump kids were great this week.
Alex Moffat and Beck Bennett are my 2 favorite. I know it's not Beck Bennett, but like Alex Moffat.
Well, and that's the thing is Mikey Day I think has been the standout this year, and he's also great as Don Jr.
Well, my all-time favorite thing that they've ever done is the guy who just bought a boat.
Everything that Beck Bennett does is good. But
no, that was Alex Moffat.
I know, but
no. The 2 best Weekend Update characters, and this is going back a few years, is Stefan,
obviously, yeah.
Drunk Uncle.
Yeah.
It goes Drunk Uncle, Stefan, and then the girl you wish you didn't start a conversation with.
That one's a good one.
That is
a very good one.
Awkward.
What about Church Lady? Church Lady Dana Garvey is.
How about have you seen like the awkward like teenage movie reviewer person, where like she like reviews like the Oscar movies and they're like, "What'd you think of it?" She's like, "It was weird."
I think that Heidi. I don't really like Heidi Gardner. I don't think she's very funny.
Oh, I think she's been really good this year.
That role, the awkward teenage movie reviewer, is the best thing she does.
I think she's been really good this year. My favorite.
And number 4 on my list of Weekend Update people is Cecily Strong's. The Fox News lady. What's her name?
Janine. Janine. Yeah.
Alan.
Yeah.
I also really just like Pete Davidson when he comes on.
I do. I do too.
Probably.
But the best Pete Davidson. The best sketches this year have been Sam Adams. Pumpkin beer. That is the best sketch of the year. That sketch is so funny.
It's Bill Burr.
It's just. Bill Burr and Mikey Day completely make that sketch. They are so good in it. My number 2 is that this has kind of risen up over the last day or two. That Jack Flat sketch is so good.
It's just so perfect because it just makes you think of how stupid the people that are anti-maskers and like don't take the virus seriously are. It's genius comedy. It's so good. It's so good.
In your list, are you counting the cold opens? Because they have
been
large. this year, and Jim Carrey should win an Emmy for playing Joe Biden. And
Max doesn't like that.
Oh, I think Jim Carrey's been so bad.
I think he's been awesome.
Now I will say so, but this is now
him as Bob Ross, but actually like.
Now I'm not going to be political at all, but I will say Alec Baldwin as Donald Trump is great. I can deal with 4 more years of Alec Baldwin playing Donald Trump. Should President Trump get reelected? But if Joe Biden gets elected, I want Jason Sudeikis as a regular.
Because here's my issue with Jim Carrey's Biden. Is I think Jim Carrey's really good once he settles into the actual impression. He gets way too physical with it. He tries to turn it into a Jim Carrey character too much. And it's that's
what I think is charming about it.
No, but SNL impressions are at their best coming politically when they're actually accurate, I think. When they're actually realistic and accurate. And I just think Jim Carrey just goes too over the top. I think he's really good when he settles into his impression.
I think he's been good. He sounds a little more like current Joe Biden, but Jason Sudeikis played the rambling Joe Biden.
Here's what I'm gonna say. I loved Woody Harrelson as Joe Biden too. I thought Woody Harrelson had that perfect kind of aw shucks attitude about him, where he could kind of pull off. Biden.
I just like how Jim Carrey. I like that. I think Jim Carrey does old Biden, really old, super old Biden, like this Biden. Well, I think when he shows up with the sunglasses on, and then when he had Chris Red, just sitting there, that's just so accurate to Joe Biden.
It is. This last one was a really good one. When he was sitting there talking, he's like,
really good.
And then I thought when he started being Bob Ross, but still was in Joe. I thought I was dying.
That was pretty good.
It was amazing.
This was by far their best cold open this week.
Oh yeah.
This week it'll be better because of
Maya Rudolph.
No. I'm gonna stop you right there and say she must be under a contract to appear in every episode. There's no reason why she should be. She should only have been in the VP debate cold open.
They like. I feel like
role, but
really like
her. They like her a lot. I think she's great as Kamala. I think she's really, really accurate and really good. I just think they don't know how to write Kamala because I feel like it's never written well.
I want to think of Kamala as a cult person. Kamala is just a senator from California who might become vice president.
She's good at it. It's a good impression, but it's a good impression, and she looks just like her. It's just
but they treat her like she's Joe Biden's caretaker, which is
well.
Conservatives will have a field day with that if that's actually the case. But I mean, I don't like it personally.
I think they're just. I thought this a little bit about Baldwin's Trump too. Is I think Baldwin plays a solid Trump. I just think at times they struggle to write Trump.
The other thing was, before Baldwin, it was the announcer, the current announcer,
Daryl Hammond.
And he was good. He was good.
It was very good.
Wait, is he their announcer?
Yeah. Because it's Saturday Night Live. Don Pardo died, and Daryl Hammond took over. But I will always do the Don Pardo impersonation during the opens with Beck Bennett, Cecily Strong, musical guest Ty Dolla $ign, and your host.
Why am I doing Trump?
Jimmy Fallon. Ladies and gentlemen, Jimmy Fallon.
Max, you were through 2 of your top sketches.
Oh yeah. Okay, I really liked Canadian news show. It's so bad. Also one of the worst sketches I've ever seen, but they committed to it so hard.
Who's the guy that played the anchor?
Bowen Yang, I believe.
He's hilarious.
He's very, very good.
I love him.
And then I really, really like New Normal, which is another one that was a very, very stupid sketch with a stupid idea, and it's just a train wreck, and I loved it.
It was so bad.
It's the whole point of it is they just don't know how to pronounce phrases. So oh yeah, it's just the new normal. and they're like, it's new normal, and they're like, oh yeah, you think I'm stupid, and then they like we're throwing stuff.
So bad. Aren't they in football gear? Like they're like Tennessee Titans fans, right?
No, that was a different one. That's a different one.
I don't know.
The new normal is really bad, but I thought it was really fun. And then first date exes was a really kind of funny one this week. That again, just this really stupid idea. It's really stupid.
But it was kind of clever at the same time because like you wonder why she's dating a homeless man.
I love bad SNL sketches so much, and they're
really good, honestly.
The best part of bad SNL sketches are when the people in them know that they aren't very good, so they just commit full on to try to make it work. And there's been a lot of that going on this year in SNL. The performance in SNL this year has been great. The performance.
The thing about SNL is you realize they only do on a typical year 20 shows a year. Mm-hmm. And they really need they really can't do back to back because it grinds on them, and their performance just tanks. They're in a stretch. They're in I'm pretty sure 5 or 6 straight shows right now because they have a show this week. They'll have a new one next week. I'm pretty sure we'll probably do one the week after the election too. So 6 straight weeks, probably 7 just to get through November sweeps, maybe 8. But, granted, they had their layoff because of COVID. They could only do, the 3 home shows, which I
thought the first home show was pretty good, but they ran out of material real quick.
I like What's Up With That home show. Mm-hmm. That was funny with Barkley.
I thought the Pete Davidson had some good stuff also from home, but, yeah, for the most part, they're kind of,
by the way, I tried to commit myself to watching SNL, but – because of my work schedule shifting around and me taking, Saturday just as a regular Saturday, I'm gassed by 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock when SNL comes on the West Coast. So I'll watch the cold open, the monologue, and then I'll go to sleep.
Did you watch this week's monologue?
I turned it off.
I thought Issa Rae, I really like Issa Rae. I think she's really talented and awesome, and I think she's a great actress. And stuff.
She was this week.
She's awesome. I don't think I've ever seen someone tank a monologue like that. That was really awkward to watch because
Bill Burr's was really bad. I turned it off because I knew it was not going to go well. Chris Rock.
Whoa. Bill Burr's was the best they've had in years.
Hello. John Mulaney's the best host of SNL.
Yes, I agree.
In history, John Mulaney's
a great host.
Bill Burr was incredible. If you don't appreciate that, then you don't.
Now,
it was pretty funny.
I'm going to put my producer hat on.
It's a joke. Hold on. Bill Burr's monologue was a joke. Yes, it was politically incorrect, but it was a joke.
That was also the whole point of it. He set up the whole thing about how he's not going to be politically correct, and then he wasn't. I like that joke of it.
Okay,
now while we're talking about hosts, Adele is hosting this week, and there's some things that I want to say off the bat. Number one, I don't know how she's going to do because she's a singer. She's kind of been out of the public eye for 4 years. I don't know how she's going to perform. Well, she's not singing. She's just hosting.
Really?
Yeah. I forget who the musical guest is.
I think there's a chance she lost her voice.
They're gonna have singing sketches, I imagine, though. Usually when they have people who can sing as a host, they almost always use that.
I have a theory that she can't sing anymore. That
she never could.
I do too. But my number 2 thing about this is this week.
Max, you like Britney Spears?
All right. This week would be the perfect week for them to do a Bachelorette sketch. Adele playing the Bachelorette, and then all the guys on the show playing cast members. All the cast members playing suitors. Bachelorette. They're the whole sketch where they're talking. Can I steal you for a sec? Can I steal you for a sec?
That was great with JJ Watt.
But my question is, A, who would play Dale, and B, would they hire someone to play Dale?
Because they have a perfect choice for that.
And who's that?
That guy plays for the New York Yankees, and he plays right
Aaron
field for the New
Judge.
York Yankees, and he lives in New York. Aaron Judge.
I feel like this is the transition to Bachelor.
Yes, I knew. That's why I have my producer hat on, because it.
Bachelorette.
All right. I'll see you guys later because it's 11.
We have you don't want to stay for the polls, Max, because we have
No.
literally 3 seconds of Bachelorette.
No. All right. I'll see you guys later.
I'll recap the episode in one sentence. Watch next week.
Yeah, I watched the first 25 minutes of it. It's bland so far. I'm going to finish it tonight, but I'm not too excited about it.
It's been clear and evident from the moment Dale walked out of the limousine.
Yeah, there's no
There's gonna be a mutiny, and it's gonna because they're gonna find out that Dale probably baby.
Okay, here's the thing though. Dale's awesome. Of anybody that's ever been on that show, that guy is awesome.
I want you to put. I have a few polls I'd like you to run.
Can you just
I can text these to you, but I'm gonna
text these to me.
I'm gonna verbally say them, and then I'll send them to you. So number
At
one,
some point, you should probably have the show password. Just letting you know.
When you hear the name Dale, do you automatically think of Dale from King of the Hill? Because that's what I do. I don't think of Dale Jr. I don't think of Dale Sr. I think of Dale from King of the Hill, which is random, but
random at reference.
Crazy. Number two is, could Dale suit up for the Eagles tomorrow night and play tight end? Because I really think
tight end. He's a little skinny.
He was a tight end
I thought he was a receiver.
He's a tight end. He was a tight end for a couple practice squad teams and the LA Kiss for 1 year, when the LA Kiss were a thing in the Arena Football League, which was a thing.
Yeah, he never
played an NFL game. He never played an NFL game. His name's Dale Moss.
He's listed as a wide receiver.
Okay.
Also, Dale Moss doesn't go together. His parents should have named him something better. Randy Moss, I'm gonna go into this. Okay, so he played for South Dakota State.
Yeah, Jack
He
Rabbit.
played basketball and football.
Yeah.
He was a much better basketball player probably than he was a football player. He was on the same team as that. He was on that South Dakota State team, I believe, with that Nate Walters guy that was really good.
I only think of South Dakota State because that's where Dallas Goedert went to college. So that's why I said he could suit up for the Eagles tomorrow night.
Dale has recently turned 32 years old. But yeah, Packers practice squad or off-season member, Bucks, Bears 2 years in a row, and then Panthers, and then Bears again.
And then the LA Kiss.
Yeah, LA Kiss was in between that. So yeah, he had a decent run as a football player. But
he could probably play in the XFL or whatever development, non-NFL affiliated.
Yeah, I'm sure his football career as well in the past.
Of course. It's like Jordan Rodgers, because I know he was on The Bachelorette a few years ago.
Also awesome. He's an ambassador for the Special Olympics. And he's totally on there for the right reasons.
Absolutely.
If I was Claire, and nobody should blame her for not, all these other guys are terrible, and
they are all awful.
They're all awful, and this Dale guy.
We'll see. No, you have to watch the final 30 minutes to find out. Even a guy who gets a rose. There's no rose ceremony. I'm just going to spoil that, but she does give out roses. But she gives a rose to someone who actually is awful. And also, I'm not going to spoil this, but there's a guy who just is awful on there as well, and you'll see what happens to that guy.
The guy that I think is the awful one. Who's the kid?
No. Okay. She doesn't give time to the one with the kid, but the one with the kid almost gets in a fight. So yeah, and he's the worst one because he has to defend him and his daughter. First of all, if you have a daughter, why are you on a reality TV show? I'm sorry, dude.
This guy's not great.
You might be on there for the right reasons. You want to get a good mother for your daughter. But where is her mother? Okay, where is her mother? I get it. You're defensive.
You probably left her mother.
Look. The point is, it's there are a lot of bad men on there, or just bland men And, you know, with what will eventually happen, I really think they're not going to do well with, you know, what will happen.
Tayshia's not good. Poor Tayshia. Like, I feel bad. She gets all these guys.
They really should just end the season when Claire wants it to. Like, I don't care if it's just 3 episodes. Like literally, it's so bad. I want them to just start airing like the next Bachelor season, like after the election. Like, or they could do, you know, a Love Island type thing where, you know, they sent like just Bachelor in Paradise, but have it in Vegas, like, which was what Love Island was. Like really, that's what they should do for the rest of this fall TV season.
Mm-hmm.
Like I get it, The Bachelorette will draw in a lot of good ratings during November sweeps, but it's just a shame what the outcome of the show will be this year. Also, put this on the poll. What would you rather get? A date card or a text about a date? Comparing Bachelor and Love Island, because honestly, I think the "I got a text" scenes were the funniest on Love Island.
Would you rather get a text about a date or a date card? I don't know. I feel like it's more old-fashioned romance when you get in a card. It's like you're writing letters.
Yeah. Anyway, that's my Bachelorette takes.
All right, let me put this on the poll real quick.
I'm gonna send you the other poll questions.
Okay, I might just give you the password because I'm tired and don't want to put them on polls. Actually, I don't really remember the password, but I think
I'll just send them to you. You can put them on tomorrow. I don't care.
I put yes or no because you know, it's been a long week. We'll deal with this at the end of the show. This is terrible radio. Good thing it's a podcast, so you're just seeing the struggle. I forgot to put the show on Blaze this week. I didn't forget. I just sent it to. It was rough stuff. Date card and text. Okay, so the polls. Is there such thing as being on the other line on the phone in 2020, or is that more of a 1920 term? 50-50, never happened before. Does Mike Zunino think he's Mike Piazza? That dude just strolls in there like he's Mike Piazza, even though he's like a 150 hitter. 86%.
Yeah, I don't know why he's on the Rays. He should have been a Mariners lifer like Kyle Seager is.
Is it okay for U.S. men's national fans to move on from the loss to Trinidad and Tobago in 2017, or should they wait and see if the U.S. can get to a World Cup first? 56% no, get to a World Cup first. Are the best male soccer players in the United States probably kickers in the NFL? 50-50, never happened before. Are Messi and Ronaldo any good? 25% no World Cups, 25% do it in the World Cup. Second and third best leagues, 0%, and win a World Cup first, 50%. Is 10-7 ever exciting? 60% no. Indiana football school, 23% yes, 38% no, 39% Bob Knight. Did John Wall totally know what he was doing? That would be 60% yes, 40% no. And then, would you rather get a text about a date or a date card? One vote, 100% yes.
Date card. Yeah.
I think date card. What about you?
I mean, I think the better scene is when they get the text and it's like, I got a text, and they start dancing, everyone gathers around, and then they just start yelling, Connor, you and Mackenzie are going on a date tonight. Get ready. # dress for success. # leave the villa. Like stuff like that. Like, I think those are witty. I mean, the date cards just kind of, I mean, you know, the producers write them, not the contestants. So kind of like how the producers write the texts. Or, by the way, also, I loved Love Island because of the narrator. And I really think The Bachelor and Bachelorette needs a narrator.
If Chris Harrison, he does
Chris Harrison does a job, which is
I don't like the narrative.
I like Harrison more than I like Ariel, because Ariel literally appeared like once a week just to kick people off. Chris Harrison's kind of like a bro with the.
Chris Harrison gets to like he's on there to make friends. Like he's like, oh, my close personal friend. Like no. But
I really think it needs like. Welcome back to the Bachelorette, where Claire and Dale are going to Fort Lauderdale.
Boo. All right. With that, we're gonna end the show. That was a terrible ass joke.
I couldn't think of something because the guy on Love Island made some really bad jokes that actually made me laugh out loud because they were so funny.
Follow us on Twitter at the letter Y and then So Serious Show. This show was extraordinarily long. We've been on here since it was like 7:40 and now it's 9:30 at night. So
we do on the alumni show.
Yeah, the alumni show always.
And Jeremy.
We didn't have Jeremy on. That would have been insane, but we would have had some NFL talk in there because he is.
Yeah, who cares?
This
is a college football show.
This is a college football show.
You want your NFL talk, NFL team, and you said the Washington football team's better than the Eagles. So, which is my quick hot take in the end. Alex Smith should start.
Yes, great take. All right. Good night, Canada.